right, and
What's
I've
up,
shared it.
Who Dat Nation, and thanks for joining us on the Don't Patrol podcast. I'm your host, Jeff, and I'm not drunk, but I am drinking one of my legendary vodka and somethings with my Cam Jordan cup here. So every time I drink, I'm going to get punched in the stomach.
Ooh, punch a berry burst right in your sternum.
That's right, yeah.
Flag on the play.
Right, of course. All right, the Saints overcame quite a bit of adversity this week, including but not limited to losing or playing without left guard, left tackle, some warranted, some unwarranted penalties, no Lattimore. We eked out the win, and what I'm going to say, it's one of those games that you look back and you say these are the games that good teams should find a way to win. And they took advantage, yes, of some really bad kicking by Carolina, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the run game, the state of the Saints in general. We'll look ahead to the revenge game on Thanksgiving, and we will also cover your tweets. Pick'em's coming right up, but first, put your seatbelts on, keep your hands and legs inside your earbuds at all times, and enjoy the show. Jason, welcome to the show. What's your number?
I will probably go with about a 4 right now. Well, when I
Show
got
prep.
well, when I knew a certain guest might be making an appearance, like I'm just trying to take it all back retro style to 2011, where we just got hammered and yell at each other.
and then,
And then somebody would just hang up and we would keep going. So hopefully it doesn't get that far. But yeah, I got home. It was a little late day today, but I got home, made a cocktail, and I'm back to the wind down Monday. And I've got, for everybody wondering, boxes here and ready to go.
All right. So we got the Berry Blast, we got the box of wine, and we have, again, for the long-term listeners, for the first time in how many years, I don't know. Adam, welcome to the show. What's your name and what's your number?
So my name is Adam. If I counted all the alcohol from yesterday, I'm probably still a little drunk on. That puts me at a 3. I just started a beer, so I'm going to go with 3.5.
Good deal. Very good. Yeah, my stomach's not working with me as well. So
We are well on our way to being 8s by the end of the show and yelling at each other.
y'all are. I'm gonna try to keep it calm here.
I will not partake in the yelling today. I'm still hungover.
And I will say on the stream we have John Tyson, Scott Greenbaum, and Vincent Burke did ask, don't you guys watch Monday Night Football? You're making this a tough choice. I have to watch them at the same time, I guess. Yes, we are a multi-screen. You can turn. It's a New Orleans Saints Don't Patrol podcast tradition where you turn down the sound on your Monday Night Football and you listen to us while you watch the game.
And again, it's 2019. I figure everybody's got a room with multiple TVs at this point.
Well, everybody
it's not like back
in front of the TV with the phone in their face anyway.
But also back in 98, 99, I mean, we would watch wrestling and just say, fuck Monday Night Football. If the Saints aren't playing, fuck it.
Jason's going to give you a lot of dollars by the end of the show.
All right.
All right.
I don't know if y'all want us to introduce the other little guest that's here?
Oh, yeah.
We may as well.
So,
Hey,
Adam, something's changed since you were last on the show.
Come right here. So what's your name?
Augustus.
And what's your number? A 0.
How many apple juices have you had today?
What's your handicap?
0.
What's your name?
6.
Okay. Like that.
Probably about a 6 handicap in golf, guys.
You're better than me.
So in 15 years, when he's winning the Masters, you saw him here on the Don't Patrol podcast first. He's getting that Don't Patrol bump.
Yeah.
He's definitely, arguably, the best 8-year-old golfer in the state.
So we're raising future golfers and podcasters.
Tiger Week!
All right. But before that, let's get into the game recap. So, like I said in the intro, I say we eked one out, but I think that this isn't, you can choose to look at this one or two ways. You can look at it as a negative where the Saints played rough. They didn't do enough to make it look like the NFC Championship game that they could be. Or this is one of those games that become the scrappy kind of, you've got to fight your way through whatever it is that you're fighting. And like I said, also, you're overcoming multiple players, starters missing, and you still found a way to win. The refs are against you. The Panthers are against you.
Well, I mean, outside, like a couple of plays really determined the closeness of the game. I mean, they came out hot. They were up 14-0 right away. You had the punching penalty on Cam. You know, that was a third down play. if he doesn't do that, then we get the ball back. They don't score at the beginning of the half, and and then we win, comfortably. It's so that I feel like other than some bad plays on the defense, the Saints played the offense played really well. Drew looked sharp. Drew looked probably the best he's looked all season in this game.
Yeah, they moved the ball pretty easily. I mean, we came out, scored 2 touchdowns pretty quickly to go up to 14-0. We kind of let them back in, and then we did it to them again to go back up 2 scores, and then we kind of let them back in, or the rest let them back in, whatever you want to say.
First touchdown on an opening drive all season.
Yeah, somebody said that in the suite when we were watching it.
And then somehow we, like Murray present was great, and then we just didn't give him the ball anymore. That was weird. That was really weird.
All right, then let me jump ahead then.
Well, we don't need to jump ahead. We're still in the game.
Well, I had some topics I wanted to cover. So you talk about Murray. Yeah, averaging 9.1 yards per carry. But at the time that they pulled him out, take away his big run or whatever, it's 6 point something yards per carry. Kamara was, let me check, I think overall...
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
something per carry.
No, 2 point something. Come on, no. Kamara averaged almost 5 yards carry too. Like we ran the ball really well.
I'm saying if you take away the long run that advances both of their deals or whatever, it's still like a 4-yard difference. Murray wasn't struggling to the point that it would necessitate kind of giving the ball to Kamara. But in the first half, they really weren't using Kamara much anyway.
Maybe more in the passing game.
Barely that, I think, because the halftime reporter was saying something. They were talking to Peyton and said, "Oh, you're going to see more of Kamara in the second half." I don't know if that was game plan or whatever, but it was interesting that Murray's playing so well, and then we just kind of like, well, we're just going to throw the ball and give it to Kamara more.
That was it's kind of a classic Peyton thing, but there's no reason to not give him the ball, and we didn't give him the ball.
How many total touches did he have?
9.
Kamara? Well, talking about Murray or Kamara? Kamara, I thought he had 11 rushes.
Kamara had 11 rushes and 9 catches.
Okay.
But Murray only had seven carries. That's it. And he averaged 9 yards a carry. Now he did have the 26-yard run, but still, he was running the ball well. I just, if you want to put teams away, and that's kind of the difference when Bridgewater was quarterback, we were forced to rely on Murray, and we did, and he ran really well. So I don't understand. He did so well at the beginning of the game. I don't understand the reasoning of not giving him the ball anymore.
There should be some kind of game planning against that defense.
But
I guess.
You're gashing them. You're literally getting a first down every time you run. Or not literally. You're just about getting a first down every time you run the ball. Let's change that.
I mean, maybe they changed it when
we're trying to ball control. It's like we were scoring too quick.
We're like the LSU. I mean, maybe when Armstead went out, they changed it up and decided not to run as much with Murray. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of why, when he was running so well, then we just completely abandoned him. Yeah. Just trying to think of a reason why that happened.
Not that we're complaining about it,
Hey, we won the game.
Yeah.
That's what we need. We were 9-2.
We're going to do that the whole game. Every little talking point, we're going to end up bitch. Not that we're complaining about it.
maybe they're saving his legs for a Thursday night short week.
Hey, maybe that was it. Hey, everybody plays a half. Everybody plays a half tonight. There it is, Adam. All right, point to you for coming up with the answer.
Stat man.
Skipper Jenkins. So, all right, Cook versus Jimmy Graham. Jared Cook versus Jimmy Graham. So I'm bringing this up because this is a thought that I had during the game watching Jared Cook. Jimmy Graham was a basketball player who was trying to play football, and he did well when he was here with it. Jared Cook is a tight end who's awesome at playing tight end. Like people are starting to, hey, it's like we have Jimmy Graham. But no, this is better than Jimmy Graham, and Jared Cook is better than Jimmy Graham. That's all I wanted to say.
The catch that he made across the middle was insane. He caught the ball at the highest point. I mean, he had to catch the ball at 11, 12 feet up in the air.
It's crazy, man. Like, I mean, he's 6.
Add that to last week's touchdown catch. The same thing, right?
It is a huge thing for this. Like, he is clearly, like, they've figured it out with him over the last 3 or 4 weeks. They figured it out, because over the first few weeks, like, why the fuck did we pay this guy all this money and he's not they're not on the same page. Well, now they're clearly Breeze clearly trusts them now.
What about the pass interference call on them?
It wasn't. It was bullshit. It wasn't. It was not pass interference. It just wasn't.
It wasn't.
I
There's no way that was. There's no way that was.
It wasn't like he completely
What
threw him
made
out of the
call
way.
it was the defensive player fell down after, and it looked worse than it was. Yeah. But then they made up for it with the call after challenge. We had to waste both our challenges. I mean, Sean Payton needs like 8 challenges per game because of the way the refs are calling against the Saints. But as Courtney pointed out last week, it's not personal. It's just poor officiating across the board.
Is it really?
Not necessarily.
We may have to go back to the 100th episode and plug that in.
Yeah.
No, not necessarily, Jason. You're gonna have to go listen. You're gonna have to go listen to that episode again, Adam.
Which one?
The 100th anniversary special, where we had everybody back on.
And Jason was, drunk, of course. And every
Right.
point somebody was making, he'd be like, not necessarily. And then like halfway through the episode, you got tired of it, and you were like, he made a point, you were like, not necessarily, Jason, not necessarily.
Well, hopefully Courtney's maybe law of averages comes into play later on in the season, and we don't get many calls on us because they're wasting them all right now on us.
Yeah, well, in the playoffs, it'd be nice for them to have run out of flags.
Right? the tariffs in China, they ran out. There's no more flags. They're out.
All right. So speaking of penalties and whatnot, and we talked about Cam Jordan punching Kyle Allen in the stomach. Clearly, we all know he was going for the ball, but some would argue that really hurt the Saints, and it lasted longer than just that drive. It did keep that drive alive. They end up scoring all this kind of stuff. Scott even shared on the live stream here that penalty on Cam changed the whole momentum of the game. Did it change the momentum of the game for you?
Yeah, it was huge. We were about to get the ball back and score again before the half, knowing that they got the ball back in the second half. And even as it happened, I know Cam said, yeah, he tried to punch the ball, didn't hear the whistle, but I mean, I know I never played football. I don't know how hard it is when you're going so 100% and you can't hear. But even at the time from there, we're all like, what are you doing? Like, come on, like Cam's smarter than that. He was smarter than to do that. If he really didn't hear the whistle and really thought the play was gone, maybe I give him a pass. But I mean,
you say that, but our defense in the last decade has always been an opportunistic defense, and so that was just an opportunity he was trying to take advantage of. But Mario had him held up to try to punch the ball out.
I get, but was he really going to get it out at that point? Like he was already sacked.
That's what she said. Jason, scoot more towards the elliptical machine, would you? Slide.
Wait, go this way.
Yeah,
this
there
way.
you go. Yeah. Nope.
The left.
That way. Yeah.
That way. Okay.
All right. All right. So the funnier thing though was the next play, and I'm gonna say it was Von Bell maybe, comes in like uppercuts as he's making the tackle as well. I'm like, oh, okay, so we're just like the Seattle Seahawks of 2011 or something.
And McCaffrey kind of stares him down after.
Right. Like, yeah. But I love the replay of Cam because like he didn't just try to punch the ball out. I mean, he went back. He came in with it like he was targeting that ball, and they did blow the whistle.
Some of the angles make it look like he was throwing an elbow at the helmet.
Yeah.
But the problem shows that he's clearly going for the ball.
Yeah. He could have been ejected for that if it wasn't. I feel like.
Considering the way the refs have called it against us, I'm surprised he wasn't.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about another funny thing was the Panthers kicker. What's his name? Slye?
Slye. Is he related to Nick Slye?
Nick Slye. He, I have to read this comment from.
All 3 people that listen to this podcast are going to get that joke, Jason.
Hey, there's enough Laplace people that'll listen that know who he is.
All right. Michael Hedden on the live stream says, I would say the Panthers kicker went into a tailspin. All you current listeners will appreciate that one.
All you tailspin Disney Plus listeners will know what we're talking about.
All right. Tom Ensign. Cook is better when he holds the ball. Way better blocker than Jimmy Graham. Then again, who isn't? Michael Hedden. Fuck the refs. Julian Prasakai. Julian, spell your name phonetically. I'll just call you Julian for now. Nice.
Posakai.
Posakai, you know Julian?
Uh-huh.
All right.
We do.
Ooh.
We have friends. I mean, come on.
Do they know Nick Slye? And did they watch
Three.
playoff then? All right. Jeremy Martin, considering it was third down, how long Davis was scuffling with Allen, Jordan should have known he was gambling with that move. Bonjour from Baltimore, from Craig Bourne. Oh, is that Craig from Baltimore?
Yeah, that is. Yeah, Craig from welcome back. When Adam comes back to the show, Craig comes back.
I see. Adam took Craig with him when he left. Got it. Jeremy. Yeah, because that was real dumb. Okay, so it's still talking about Cam. All right, so let's move on to the defense could never put the game away. This is one of those that the offense did enough to win, but the defense kept the Panthers in the game. Agree? Disagree? Was it the fact that Lattimore was out and P.J. Williams did good for P.J. Williams? But
well, that was a big part of it. I mean, look, the long touchdown to Moore. I mean, if Lattimore's in, then you got Lattimore and Apple on Moore and their other receiver, and PJ's. You don't need PJ to do that. That's definitely part of it.
Is Lattimore going to be back for the Falcons?
He might be back this week.
We need him.
Well, but I also don't want to rush him back and have him re-injure himself. Like he's that important. If he's not 100%, I would not play him this week. I just wouldn't. Because we need him. If we want to win the Super Bowl, you need a healthy Lattimore.
All right. Well, Vincent Burke says that the defense is not what kept him in the game. It was the penalties that kept him in the game.
Yeah.
How many first downs did they get on penalties?
I don't know. Somebody who's watching, if you do know that answer, type it in there. How many first downs did they get off of penalties? I will say what the Saints got called for, was it 12?
12.
Penalties for over 120 yards or something like that.
That's been a consistent theme the last few weeks. A lot of penalties, a lot of hands to the face penalties by us. A lot of illegal hands to the face penalties by us.
Yeah, and that's the weird thing is the things we're getting called for are consistently being like week in and week out. And I am starting to have that debate internally about are they finding stuff to throw on us, or are we actually being coached to play dirty or sloppy? Are we sloppy players? Like, well, I'm not a sloppy player.
But... Are you sure about that?
Well, hold on. Let me go find out.
I don't know, man. You don't want to do the podcast with a bib on?
I know you like them extra sloppy. So that goes into the big question about going in that whole conversation. So this is something that was tweeted about the Saints, the what do you call it? The differential between the Saints penalties that they get called for and the teams that the Saints play against and what they get called for, and it's the biggest differential in the NFL. So, us and then our opponents and whatnot. And I think what it is, the net count is minus 26. So we're minus 26 on penalty differential. Oakland is minus 24, the Redskins minus 21. So it's not like we're way higher than everybody else, but we're also not the highest penalized team. That would be Cleveland, is the most penalized team in the NFL.
The redheaded stepchild.
With 94 flags on the year. And it felt like we had 94 yesterday. So we're not doing anything to help ourselves. And I think that if we start cleaning our stuff up, then you're going to start to just deal with like PI calls, like the Jared Cook thing or the whatever. Other teams will get away with interfering with us. But the hands to the face and the holding, I mean, when you look at the tape, we are doing it. I mean, it's not like we're not. It's just that they're choosing to call it.
I liked Peyton's comment about New York didn't have their best of day.
Yeah. And didn't he say something? He's now advocates for a 3-person booth review situation and whatnot. And I don't know how many people review it when it gets reviewed anyway, but he doesn't think there's enough people. Did you hear about that? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
No, I haven't.
All right. All right. So the other thing, speaking of, have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Last year, the Saints achieved their first ever back-to-back division championship trophy, if you will. And
yeah, that was 17 and 18.
Yeah, and now we win on Thursday. It'll be 3 in a row. that.
No, but I think the Panthers still have to lose.
A winning streak.
And they play Washington.
Yeah, they're not going to lose. It's going to take another week.
All right, shit. Well,
But
it's still going to happen. It's inevitable.
Right, it's right. It's still going to happen. It's still going to happen.
But just sit down and think about that for a second. Like let that resonate. 3 straight NFC South championships. It's pretty good. It feels like that's dominance.
It feels good. Cheers. I'm gonna have a sip of my wine. Yeah, cheers. Adam, take a sip of your Who Dat beer.
He's gonna punch you. He's gonna punch you. All right.
So I see
Erica Blackaw's watching. Carol Ann Lambert's watching. All right. Jason Lake.
See, they know Nick Slye.
She heard you were talking about Nick Slye. She wanted to come check out.
Right.
Jason Lake, if Sean's play calling was to blame for the loss to the Dirty Birds, how do you grade his play calling this game?
I mean, as other than abandoning Murray present early in the game, I thought our game plan was solid and the offense played really well. Like I said, Drew had maybe I think his best. Maybe the first game was his best game, but he threw the ball really well.
Had a good game. That's not play calling. That's execution.
Well,
so the question.
I guess
play calling.
Well, abandoning Murray is not. I don't like that. But hey, we won the game.
I thought the play call was good. We moved the ball. Fairly well. We went up and down the field. So I mean that's play call. You got to set the players in the right position to execute.
Yeah, true. All right, and then that last drive to go down and for the game winner. I mean, that drive was vintage, like Sean Payton, Drew Brees putting it together.
14 yards, field goal win.
Dude, that Michael Thomas catch to the sideline. Oh.
And it continues to amaze me that they know we're going to Michael Thomas, and yet the connection between Drew and Thomas is just unreal. Like when they lined up in the huddle, they saw something. Maybe only 2 of them know. He was doing a sluggo. He was going to go in, but then he decided to go out, and he was wide open. Like these guys are just on point, and it's amazing. Like we all know, Michael Thomas should be in the MVP conversation, but of course it's a quarterback award. But just the fact that they can continue to do that, knowing that, like, yeah, they're going to go to Michael Thomas, and it doesn't matter.
My favorite thing about like awards and rankings and whatever opinions is that we don't think any of them matter until Saints players win them. Yeah. It's like all season Jay's like, yeah, for power rankings. Oh, that's stupid. All that's dumb. All that's not. Michael Thomas deserves to be the MVP. What about?
Well, it's a real award. It's not. Well, hold on.
Payton should be Coach of the Year.
Yes, those are real awards, not some bullshit power ranking that means nothing. It's ain't college football. There's no debate over it. You win and you move on.
I know there is no debate actual awards. That Michael Thomas is the best player in the NFL.
Well, don't talk to the people who love Lamar Jackson and love Russell Wilson.
I mean, he's good, Lamar.
Yeah, they're both good, but
he's no Michael Thomas.
Well, I mean, I know Thomas isn't going to win it.
Argument that Lamar's argument is the highlight reel. He's a highlight.
His argument is he's a quarterback.
Well, and a highlight reel.
And he's a quarterback. It's a quarterback. That's what it is now. Now, if Michael Thomas wants to save his MVP for the Super Bowl MVP, I'm here for it. I mean, that's what Drew did. Like the fact that Drew doesn't have an MVP after all the shit he's done is,
and he won't. You realize that no. He will not ever have a season MVP.
No, he's never gonna get one.
Yep.
We'll just have to.
He'll get a Domi.
Ah.
All right, Carol Ann says, "Love you guys." Let's see. Jason Lake talking about the 3 people in the review booth says 3 or more constitutes a conspiracy. That's true.
It's not gay if it's a 3-way.
Oh, all right. So then the other, have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Is the San Francisco game. I'm looking ahead, I know, but is not going to be flexed to Sunday night. However, I will say it kind of makes sense because they're going to put the West Coast game as the nighttime game, and will be the featured noon game, and then your 3 o'clock game is also going to be big. That's Kansas City, New England, and then the Rams Seattle game. So that Sunday is going to be chock full of like playoff level football. So it's going to be a good day for football. Anything left on the game before we move on?
I mean, I feel like there's got to be something we're missing. Is there anything we're missing?
Not that I can think of. Adam?
Um,
Um, I think it's good. I think it was a good performance by Lutz to come back after missing some field goals lately, to come back and show he still got it, and especially under the pressure of hitting the game winner.
Yes.
Now, I will say it was a little disappointing at the end of the half when we stopped, when McCaffrey got ruled down at the inch line or whatever, and they ran the same exact play and he was wide open. Like, how is he that wide open again? When he's the one guy, you got to stop.
Well, who was it? He went after Kyle Allen and abandoned his coverage. Although if he abandons his coverage, Kyle Allen's got all day. It could have ran it in. I don't think we would have stopped that play. They were scoring no matter what.
But but at the end of the day, have somebody on
Yeah.
on Christian McDonkey.
Oh
You got to
my
have somebody
God.
on him.
Stupid fantasy football.
Yeah, a joke that only me and Jason are going to get now.
Bivin might get it.
He's not watching
Yeah.
it. He's not
2.5.
watching. Is Dave Miette watching yet?
No,
All right.
yeah, no, he would definitely get it. I don't think he's watching.
All righty. It's Craig from Baltimore says 5 first downs. Oh, so your answer,
No penalty. Wow.
5 first downs on penalty, Adam.
That's a lot.
It is.
And look, we can, obviously the refereeing is a big topic, but and I don't know if are you saving any of this for look at them tweets? Is that where they're gonna?
I'll tell you what. Let's get into look at him tweets,
Oh,
and we'll find out. All right. So the first tweet comes from Paul Perrette. He says, remember when we could celebrate a touchdown or a third down stop immediately without closing our eyes and waiting for a flag? Pepperidge Farms remembers. I don't get the Pepperidge Farms part, but
it's got to be an
it's
SNL
another
skit.
inside joke.
I think 1.5 people got that joke.
Anyway, yeah, how nice. There you go. There's your officiating tweet right there. It used to be nice that we could celebrate getting a stop or getting a first down or a touchdown without wait, check for flags. Is there a little yellow ribbon on the field or something? And usually there is. That's, I think, the hard thing about it is it's not the fact that there's so many flags as much as it seems like they only come out on the most important plays.
As is tradition.
All right, so y'all got nothing to add to that. All right, Big Easy
No,
guy.
no. It's. I mean, unless these are more tweets about officiating, it's hard.
There might be.
Look, I mean, some of it is kind of like Courtney brought up last week. It's like, human error is always there, but now that we have, 100 camera angles and everything, we can see every little thing and we see every little mistake that's made. The problem is, at some point the NFL is going to have to actually embrace the technology and use it to their advantage. But we know, the NFL is run incompetently by a bunch of assholes who just know, well, the money's coming in, it doesn't matter. But that's part of the reason is that we can see everything. The officiating stupidity has always been there, but now it's magnified because it's all HD. We can see everything, and even you've had a handful of the good referees have all retired over the last 3 or 4 years. All the referees that you can, I know that guy, Ed Hockley or whoever, like you recognize him as a referee. They've all.
So it's like Saved by the Bell, the new class coming in, and these guys have to kind of.
And they're also not as good. But it's frustrating to me that there's no consistency in anything. Like, how can, they overturned the stupid call on us this week, which is shocking in of itself because they did it against us. But then you had the play last week with Houston. The guy it was clear and obvious interference. They don't call that, but they call this little thing against us. Like, be fucking consistent. Like, that's all we ask for. You don't know what you're gonna get.
It's funny how in the 80s and 90s the joke about referees was that they were blind, right? Blind, the old blind zebra, blind referee thing. Now it's like flipped. It's where they call too much in my mind. Like not only now it should be like the seven-eyed snake or something.
Seven-eyed snake. What the fuck is
Medusa or something. Anyway, so Pepperidge Farms remembers apparently is a Family Guy reference, and I do remember that now that you bring it up. Thank you, Wheels and Scott and Vincent Burke for all pointing that out. Let's see. Aaron King comes in and says, "Hey guys, just found out my wife is pregnant."
Oh, congratulations!
Oh,
Can
who's
we
the
can we name
father?
the baby?
Kidding. I'm kidding. You know that's what you got to do. So, all right. Well, congratulations, Aaron. Yes, as is tradition, we get to name the children of our listeners. Just ask Neil; he knows. Paul Perrette, what's up? Oh, he's watching live too. Paul, I hope you heard us read your tweet. He says, "What's up, Dome Patrol? Who dat? Late to the party, as is tradition. And some flags are coming way late after the whistle." Craig says. Now, Craig, I'm going to say to that. Sometimes it takes a while for the ref to get it out of his back and throw it. I mean, you got to allow for a little bit of a time delay between the offense and the flag itself. But now if you see him kind of check with the other guy, look at the clock, look at the
You,
score,
me, you,
check
me,
things.
you, me.
Check the script. Oh yes, we're supposed to throw a flag here. Okay, got it. Okay. Jeremy Martin, why are the penalty calls so lopsided? I don't think of Peyton's teams as lacking discipline. The timing of the flags is very suspect. Now, Jeremy, earlier we were saying I do think that this team does show a lack of discipline. I think we deserve some of the flags, not all of them. But I don't know. Sometimes we look a little sloppier than a traditional Sean Payton coach team.
I mean, look, those, as much as we complain about the hands to the face, they're clearly hands to the face. Now, whether they get called all the time on a lot of other teams, whether they're doing them again, like, we don't know because I'm not watching all these other teams' games. So it is tough.
And but you can call holding on every play, so it might be a question of like just them deciding, okay, here's one we're going to call it on, because
But I will say,
first down, nope, we're going to bring that one back.
the discrepancy is interesting. Like, it's like, man, I don't think there's a conspiracy against this. I mean, there probably isn't, but when you see the discrepancy of, I mean, the four teams have had the least amount called on them against us, and three teams have had the most called for their opponent, which is us, this year. So that's 7 out of 11 games that the penalty ratio has been that lopsided in their favor. It just, it's
hard to ignore. I mean,
it's hard to ignore. And the problem is all the other fans are like, oh, Saints fans need to fucking get over it. No, fuck you. We'll not get over it. We will never get over the nonsense. Have your team get boned. To go to the Super Bowl, it's not like it's a regular season game. To go to the Super Bowl, your team gets boned. You're not going to tell anyone to get over it anymore. You won't. But that's NFL fandom.
Sam Rodrigo on the live stream says, what blows my mind is that we had 12 or 13 penalties. The Panthers only had 3 or 4. Were they really playing that much cleaner than us? And no, they weren't. And that's the part where you bring up the differential. It's like there's no way they were playing that much cleaner. Sometimes
I wonder if the refs don't want to make it look like they're benefiting us because of what happened last year, and then they're too conservative the other way, and we get more flags called. I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, in the
Adam,
game.
Do you think? I mean, Adam, you never really weighed in on that. We've been talking about it on the show for a while now. I mean, where do you land on the whole officiating? Are you on there's a conspiracy against the Saints, the NFL is fixed, or it's poor officiating, we're a sloppy team? I mean, where is it for you?
It's probably a little bit of all of it. Like I think Vegas has something to do with a little bit of everything, like those lines and things like that to see, to help Vegas out. And then also, it could be something along the lines of, since we got the rule put in, like it was our team that got that rule put in for the pass interference, can now be judged by, to go to a video replay, that referees might be a little aggravated about that. That they have to go to that we don't trust them to get the call right. And so now we have something new because of the Saints put in to, call something the right way when the referee didn't call it the right way. So they could be a little bit aggravated by it, and we get a little repercussion from it.
Kind of like because the whole thing with the Saints was you suck because you're not calling penalties when there should be a penalty. So their response is, okay, we'll call every penalty we see
Good
on
call,
you.
penalty, man.
Every
And
single thing. Yeah, that's what you asked for. You want us to call on you, though.
correct.
And Cleveland.
In Cleveland.
You in Cleveland.
That's
Oh,
bad. Shit.
All right. Uh-oh. He got called.
oh, see, even somebody else knows it's
He said,
bad.
oh, the officiating is bad, 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 bad.
I'm surprised there wasn't a flag thrown across Adam's screen. You got to have a flag somewhere.
Well, we do somewhere.
Yeah,
That's what we got to do. We got to have somebody come throw a flag across our screen during the show.
that's a good idea. All right. So, somebody make like a flag GIF and throw it on the live stream or something. All
Or,
right.
or have somebody throw a real flag. Have Andrea come in, get in the corner, and just toss a flag across your face.
Slap me in the face with it.
Right? I get Renee to do it.
Okay, hey, what y'all do in your own time it's between you. All right, Biggie,
Flags everywhere.
You get tied up with yellow flags.
Wrap a flag around my dick.
Okay, this is a friendly family show.
Is it?
Now with Jason tonight.
That's right. Do we need a double
not
patrol check?
necessarily. All right. Big Easy Guy John says, I'm looking ahead to the 49ers. Can our offensive line handle them? I feel like that is the one scary thing about that game that's going to make us lose some sleep. Especially with Pete being out. Is he out for that game?
Well, Pete's out, but Armstead's going to be out.
Yeah.
So what's the ruling on him? Like, what is his injury?
High ankles. What's the ruling on him? Well,
Well,
he
you
didn't
know
get a
what I
penalty
mean.
called on him.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Answer the question.
Don't be mad, guy. High ankle sprain. So he's out for.
Probably 3 or 4 weeks.
That's what I'm thinking.
Classic Armstead.
I mean, the good thing is we're used to it, but I'm shocked. Like we brought in Omana.
Manamana.
He actually. I mean, he
love
may
that
have,
edit, by the way. They love that piece in it.
he may have had one penalty on him, but I feel like he played fairly well coming in for Armstead. Now he's not on Armstead's quality, but if you can survive with him for a couple of weeks, but that is going to be a tough game, especially with Bosa for San Francisco. So hopefully Bosa lines up against Ramczyk and not Omana.
Well, somebody had brought up bringing Ramczyk over to the left side, but is that too much?
No. We can't.
Making things too difficult.
No, look, he's an All-Pro at right tackle. You leave him at right tackle. That's stupid.
All right,
You don't ever.
just asking.
I'm just saying.
All right.
So
I knew that would spike you towing up there.
Their defensive line is really good, really young. We're going to have to definitely game plan for that defensive line for sure.
I'm hoping maybe keeping the game at 12 helps us out because when it's kind of like for them playing at 10 o'clock in the morning.
No, you're right. That's a big thing. One of the things people always, when the West Coast teams travel East Coast, especially when you play an early game like that, like I'm glad it wasn't flexed tonight just because I don't like night games, but I'm also glad, and it's a noon game. Noon games are great, but that also helps the Saints. Because they have, they had the game against Green Bay this past week. They got to go to Baltimore next week, and then they get us. So that's a tough stretch for them.
Their D-line is real fucking good. Paul Perez, let's remember we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar organization uses 11-inch tablets held by a guy on the sideline in front of the face of the official to determine the outcome of games. Oh, sorry, it was officiating. Okay.
But also, they use chains and sticks.
That doesn't matter.
A 19 big a guy's
I'm sorry. A chain and a stick is still accurate.
But it's also based on
a 10-yard chain.
Hold on,
will never be more than 10 yards.
But it's also based on where a guy walking on the sideline. Nope, that's where he was.
Oh wait, did you see from last week? They let the player spot the ball.
Yeah.
Whatever.
$19 billion enterprise.
Jay Caro, why is Sean Payton using Kamara for short yard situations? Wouldn't it be better to use Murray for those plays?
Present.
Thoughts?
That fourth down conversion, I didn't like the play call there. I really didn't. I would have definitely thrown the ball on 4th and 1.
Somebody asked why not the Breeze leap, but I think that it was longer than a yard, wasn't it?
It was a yard, but it wasn't
it
wasn't a short yard. But even like
8 links of the chain.
Oh, okay. 8 holes on the chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a good play call on the 4. I don't mind going for it. I like going for it, but I would have liked to, just run a 3-yard out with Michael Thomas or run an out with Kamara or superstar Josh Hill.
Run the play that the Panthers scored with
McCaffrey.
Yeah, and do it to Kamara.
Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, what that guy was kind of saying, we also can't have it to where when we see Murray in the backfield that we should be expecting to run through the tackles, or if we see Kamara in the backfield, we should be expecting a short pass to give him space. We have to be able to play him through the tackles. We have to be able to play Murray as an open space running back as well, so that defenses don't get used to it and start playing their defense to that. Then they'll stop us all day.
So do you think some of it too has to do with creating film for Atlanta to look at? I mean, it's a chess game. You got a game 4 days away.
Yeah,
but you also have a game right now. Like, you need to win this game. You can't be looking forward to next week and sacrifice anything.
I wonder too how much of the first Atlanta game had to do with the next Atlanta game. I mean, is Sean Payton playing the long game with them? Conspiracy theory. Scott, you're gonna like that. Speaking of Scott, he also said, I expect a lot of screen passes versus the San Francisco's defensive line.
Maybe an aggressive defensive line, that is one way to combat it a little bit. But again, we can't don't abandon the run. Don't let Breeze get and have to sit back there with 2 backup offensive linemen. Keep them off balance. Do what you can do. And I trust that Peyton's, because it's such a big game. I mean, that's going to decide. I mean, that game should decide the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Like that's what whether we have to go to Frisco in the playoffs or they have to come here. Right. That is the game of the year.
All right. Bill Barnwell from ESPN says the Saints without Drew Brees 5-0. Saints without Marshawn Lattimore 2-0. Saints with Drew Brees and Marshawn Lattimore 2-2.
Bill Barnwell hates the Saints. Fuck him.
It's more of a joke.
I know, but
I think it's funny. All right, the midnight. It was not really worth commenting on. It was just a joke. I thought it was funny. All right, midnight.
I got a reaction out of me.
Yeah, it sure did. And I'm sure a lot of Saints fans that are angry about being 9-2.
Well, Bill Barnwell was also like, "Oh, the salary cap is going to crush us, and we do stupid shit." And Bill Barnwell has never liked the Saints. All of his columns have been basically, no, the Saints are about to fall off. Drew Brees' arm is about to fall off.
Probably a Falcons fan. All right, Midnight Rider says the Saints currently have the largest disparity in. We talked about that already. I'm not going to read it again. And then
but
David
did.
I didn't finish. David.
That's.
All right.
Adam's like, that was not funny.
It wasn't funny 7 years ago, and it's still not funny today.
Adam's watching the football game while he's on the pod.
No, Augustin's trying to watch other stuff on the TV, and I'm trying to tell him to put on the football game when all that happened. So I missed that.
He's trying to watch SpongeBob.
You watching Paw Patrol?
Drummer.
We're 8 years old. We're past that.
Oh, Disney Plus. DuckTales.
YouTube.
Tails.
Saints and Panthers highlights.
Let's do that. Okay, there you go. All right. Davis Douglas, our last tweet for the night, says, never feel bad about a division win, but are you worried that given what we saw yesterday and 2 weeks ago, the defense is regressing to what we had a few years ago, or does it just show how valuable Lattimore is?
I think it's playing the guys you play twice a year. Like, I think it's more or less that. I mean, they know how to play against you and know where your weaknesses are and able to exploit it. And I think that's all it was. When we play the teams, I really think we'll play San Francisco well, being that we're coming off of the short week, so we'll have extra days to rest and prepare. The 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock their time, I think will come into play, and I think our boys will just be ready to play, and you'll see it.
And yeah, divisional teams kind of build their teams to play each other too. I mean, you match up, you play the matchups. So
and like you said, there's so much familiarity because so many guys on that team, they played you 2 times last year, 2 times the year before. Now it is interesting, as good as McCaffrey has been for Carolina, the Saints have done a damn good job of shutting him down. Like, he apparently in 5 games against the Saints, he's only got like 150-something, 160 yards rushing.
Because we're a well-coached team.
We continued the streak of not allowing an individual 100-yard rusher.
We needed to hold him somewhere under 120 all-purpose yards yesterday.
All-purpose.
Yeah.
And that's around.
We did.
All right.
No touchdowns. We gave him up, but
Well, we knew he was gonna produce something.
yeah,
I
right.
mean, you're not gonna shut him down.
No.
But yeah. So all right, that's all I have for the tweets. Let's move into pick'ems.
Ooh, all right. So out of I guess Courtney was a guest picker. Went 2-3. Not bad. Just like you went 2-3. I won the week for the three of us, going 3-2. We both had Tennessee. I had Dallas, which lost but covered the spread. You had San Francisco. Smart. San Francisco crushed Green Bay, which was good for the Saints. Green Bay's not that good, but you don't want to go to Lambeau in there. So I picked Tampa, and Tampa throttled Atlanta. You picked Atlanta. You got made fun of, and you got rewarded for.
Yes, I was also among the majority. Everyone else picked Atlanta except maybe 5 people. So.
Oh, good. All you motherfuckers were idiots. And then we picked Chicago like a bunch of morons. Chicago won the game, but they didn't cover the 6-point spread. I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy, but I know not to pick Atlanta. You can't, like Ash said, you can't pick Atlanta. You can't.
Just called all our listeners idiots. I love it.
Well, I mean,
hey, you're all a bunch of fucking idiots.
Hey, I am too. I'm not, we're all in this together.
All right. In the larger league, it is Mordecai and Sans Hobbs sitting at the top, followed by they're tied for first. Green Bomb, Soul, second place right now. Then Christian Mino, then Jake, Tom Ensign, Desi, Drew. Oh, great. Both of my kids are beating me, actually. Wheels, Who Dat Fits, me, Big Easy Mafia UK, CJG, who's on probation, Ryan Angier, Jason, the Mailman, Davis Douglas, Trevor Scott Bruno, Neil, Triple D Kennels, Who Dat Be, Me So Mad, DJ Z, Big Easy Gajon. Did I say him twice? Big Easy Gajon.
No, you said Big Easy Mafia, but you were ready to say Big Easy Mafia Gajon.
I did. Yeah, you're right.
They're gonna they're gonna combine picks.
Big Easy Gajon is in Japan, so he should be Big Easy Mafia Japan, and you got Big Easy Mafia UK. James from the UK, King Nola, Chris McGuire. Anyway, I said probation because CJG has missed 3 weeks.
Yeah. Better get on that.
Yeah. I mean, he's
Chauncey Gardner Johnson making picks for us. Look at that.
Hey, CGJ, if he yeah. All right.
Well, yeah. When he started playing more, he forgot about his picks.
He better get some picks.
All right. So it's a shame that we can't pick the Thanksgiving games because there is a really good game between Dallas and Buffalo, which I would like to pick. Can't. But we do get the 3 games. Thursday, you get the shitty Lions game against the Bears. Then the next game, which is good, and then us and the Falcons on the road. Another Thursday night road game for the Saints. I think maybe 70% of our Thursday games are on the road. Now, I don't mind this one being on the road because...
Jason, we're doing pick'ems, not Saints.
Yeah, I know.
Get your shit straight, Jason.
Jason's meandering.
Hey.
Don't patrol checkpoint. What's your number?
I go with a 5.
Oh, which means 6.
All right, hold on. Here, look. Box.
It needs to be glass or see-through so we can see how much of it's missing.
You can see how much is in there? Yeah, no. I'm just going to show you what's in here.
All right.
All right. Pick'ems this week. Our first game, a rematch of Helmet Gate. The Cleveland Browns coming off another win this week. Their schedule, they're sitting there at 5-6, but they've got a nice schedule the rest of the way. Maybe they're starting to come around a little bit. They travel to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers, who came off a win this week against the Bengals. Didn't look great. They replaced Mason Rudolph with another one of their backup quarterbacks. This game is in Pittsburgh, and the Steelers are getting 1 at home. Everybody loves it. People just want the Browns to be like, oh, there's all this talent. They want them to be good, so they just figured the bets are going to come in on Cleveland. And I'll go first. I'll say Cleveland wins.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I'm with you, Cleveland.
Cleveland's about to go on a run.
We picking with the spread?
Yeah.
Yes. Pittsburgh getting one point at home.
Yeah. I'll take the Steelers.
Steelers.
Getting a point at home. Always take the home dog.
All right. Our next game, Oakland Raiders, coming off a stunning loss. They were playing really well coming into this game. They got destroyed by the Jets. I think they lost 34-3 to the Jets. That was a bad loss for Oakland. They were riding a lot of momentum. They traveled to Kansas City to play the Chiefs, who I believe were off this week. Mahomes appears to be healthy. Tyreek Hill, it looks like, is going to be out. He got injured in his last game back. This game's in Arrowhead, and the Chiefs are favored by 10.
I'll go first on this one. I'm actually going to take Kansas City because the last time I said that was too many points. I think it was, 16 or something to give up. And it was New England or something, and they actually covered. So I'm going to not be afraid of the points. I'll give them up.
You're going with the Kansas City burnt ends, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with Chucky on this one. I'm going to take the 10 points.
Chuck E. Cheese.
No, showbiz. I'm going to take Oakland as well. This is a division game. I think Kansas City will win, but I think Oakland's going to make it close because Kansas City's defense is not good.
Nope.
So I think Oakland's going to keep it close enough to cover the spread.
I'm scared of my decision here.
You can't change it.
Yeah, you can't change it. All right, our next game. Interesting. The Tennessee Titans, coming off a strong win at home against Jacksonville this past week, traveled to Indianapolis, who are playing a Colts team who lost in Houston on Thursday night. Houston currently has the lead in the division, but Indy and Tennessee are right there. Tennessee has looked a lot better since they benched Mariota and put in Ryan Tannehill, which is kind of crazy. You know, the Saints do travel to Tennessee later in the year. I thought that was going to be an easy win, but now with Tannehill, they're playing better, and Derrick Henry doing his normal end-of-the-year fantasy nonsense, rushing all over the place. This game is in Indy. Colts favored by 3.
I'm gonna stick with what I'm going with. So I'm going plus 3 points. I'm gonna take Derrick Henry and his man self.
Yeah. You're going with the Tannehill Titans?
I'm going.
I'm going to go with the Titans as well.
All right. Not me. I'll take the Colts at home.
All right. All right, and now we get our game of the week. The San Francisco 49ers coming off an absolute thrashing of Green Bay,
which we're happy and not happy about at the same time.
Well, no, you know, I think it's a good thing though. Like, we're happy that they won and Green Bay lost because that puts Green Bay behind us. But now the media is all on, holy shit, San Francisco. They're already penciling in San Francisco for the Super Bowl, which is good. We want them off our scent.
I'll take it.
You know, anything to get all the national media off the Saints scent, I'm with. At least for 2 weeks until we beat San Francisco. Because they traveled to Baltimore to play a Ravens team who is now up 28-6 tonight on the Rams currently. So Baltimore is going to be sitting there at 9-2. Baltimore looking like the real legit class of the AFC.
Hey. Go ahead.
This game is in Baltimore, and when I initially looked up the spread, the spread may have changed since, and I'm sure it's going to go up. But right now, it's Baltimore 4.5.
4.5. That is actually not too bad. I was thinking anything under 5, I would take Baltimore actually. So I'm taking Baltimore, and my hay was actually, hey. If San Francisco could pick up a loss is a loss at this point. Good. Take it from Baltimore and then lose again to us, and then we have a real good stronghold on the first seed.
I'm taking Baltimore as well. I just think they're better. Baltimore is going to win the AFC, I think.
What time's that game? It's the night game?
No, it is
3.
Hold on. No, I think it's a noon game.
Does that matter? Oh, because the West Coast team.
West Coast traveling East Coast. I'm going to take these.
Who are you taking?
Baltimore.
The Baltimore three-way.
Really, because fuck the 49ers is basically.
It's both emotional and logical.
Well,
I'm betting with my heart on that one.
Yeah, it's the Baltimore handshake.
Did you say you're betting with your heart on that one?
With his heart on? Jesus.
This is a family-friendly show.
Yeah, it is a noon game. It is a noon game on Fox.
Oh. Mm.
All right, and now our shitty game of the week. I was very tempted.
Coming to get you.
I was very tempted to go with the Jets and Cincinnati because Cincinnati is the worst team in the league. The Jets aren't good, but the Jets have come on, so I don't think they're that. I'm gonna go with the game, an AFC West late game, 325 clash. The Los Angeles Chargers,
Oh, welcome.
who find so many ways to lose. Philip Rivers
Was he
is throwing.
crying at the end of that game?
He is throwing picks at a Winston-like rate. Where Philip Rivers is, I think Philip Rivers is done. What he's trying to.
No cursing.
Yep, I think Philip Rivers is done. They traveled to Denver. Yep, that looks like Rivers. That's how Rivers. He throws like Chris Howard.
Another one. 3 people.
Everybody that got the Nick Slye joke, we'll get the
Got my Chris Howard joke. All
Is
right.
Erica Bachhoff still watching?
I hope so. I hope somebody's still watching. So they traveled to Denver to play a Broncos team who continues to find ways to lose. They don't have a quarterback. Their defense is so-so, but they stink too. This game is at Mile High in Denver. The Broncos are getting 1 at home.
Ooh.
And this is a divisional matchup, so these games are always close.
This is going to be one that it button hooks you and bites you in the butt at the because it's so obvious that you take the home dog, but watch the Chargers come out and do something.
Yeah, death the butt.
I'm gonna go with Rivers. Just because I'm not even sure if I know who Denver quarterback is.
That's what's so
It's-
funny
it's-
about it. Like Denver, I know nothing about. Like is Denver still playing football?
Actually,
Are they
Denver,
still in the NFL? They're the
Denver,
quietest team in the league. I forgot they were there.
Denver's quarterback is one of the 3 Allens that are quarterbacking NFL teams right now.
Their running back's last name is a girl's name, so I'm gonna go with San Diego or Los Angeles.
Oh, don't they have a Sutton or something?
No, he's a receiver, Cortland Sutton. Yeah,
Cortland
yeah,
Sutton,
he's actually pretty good.
He's on my fantasy team.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers as well. I
my
think
bench.
they're getting Derwin James back. They're all pro safety, so I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
What's Denver's record?
I think 3-8.
And the
Is
Chargers
that
are
right?
what?
Or 3-9. They might have 4 wins. Hold on.
I think that is correct.
I'm doing the schedule.
4 wins.
Yeah.
People thought the Chargers, like at the beginning of the year, weren't the Chargers like somebody's favorite to go to like the playoffs or something? I mean,
Well,
that's
they
about
did
it.
have a lot of talent, but they also Melvin Gordon was holding out, and then they lost their all-pro safety Derwin James to a long injury at the beginning of the year. He's finally coming back this year. But
They were 13 on the power rankings when they first came out.
power rankings.
Nobody cares about that, Adam.
Some people do. You were looking for their power ranking.
All right. Anyway, I'm gonna take Denver. Home dog. Who cares?
Good.
Just
Good.
from Jason.
Okay,
Jason,
so-
you realize the only no we have 3 differences this week. There is gonna be separation this week.
Yeah, I'm going to be beating your ass after this week. All right. So to recap, we have Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh getting a point at home. Oakland at Kansas City. Chiefs giving up 10, favored by 10 at home. San Francisco at Baltimore in our game of the week. The Ravens are favored by 4.5. Tennessee at Indy. Colts favored by 3. And our shitty game, the Chargers at Denver. Denver getting a point at home.
All right. And make sure you get your picks in before the noon game on Sunday. Noon.
Oh shit,
Central
Bivens
Time.
watching.
Hey, Bivin. And I will like
Bivens,
it. I'll
why
post
don't
updates
you
on
call in
Monday.
from a bar?
And then, meantime, while we wait for Bivin to call in, possibly from a bar, we will go into Saints preview, and this will be a quick one because we already are running long. So, all right, Saints are. This is a short week. Thanksgiving heading to Atlanta, where there are bound to be more Saints fans than Falcons fans in the stadium.
I think that's 100%.
Happens every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you think this is going to be one of those games where both teams come out kind of flat because it's Thursday, or because it's Thanksgiving, just like last year, the Saints just come out and steamroll the Falcons, or kind of like what the Falcons did to the Saints a couple of weeks ago? Are you worried? Let me rephrase it. Are you worried about this game at all?
What do you think, Adam?
I mean, we are the better team. I just don't. I can't foresee us showing up the same way that we showed up the last time we played them. So I would assume that we have a better game plan. We run the ball better. We throw the ball better, and we win the trenches, which is what we lost last time. So
yeah.
I think if we're game planning to win the trenches, we win the game.
Yeah, and I know, even going into the last game, like players like Cam Jordan, like they know the rivalry with Saints and Falcons, and yet we still came out flat. And they asked Cam today, it's like, yeah, look, it's Falcons week. I mean, he's going to say that like they know, but the good thing is because they played so shitty the first time, that helps us this game because they all know how bad they played the first time. You would think they're not going to allow that to happen again.
You saw Cam Jordan's face today when they asked him about the game. He gave the eyes, and he was trying to be whatever, I think professional about it. And he kind of gave these eyes. They were like, you guys gonna be like amped up for this game or something. And he kind of was like, we're gonna take it. This is, and they were like, yeah, but the way that he laid y'all a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, I mean, he didn't say this. These are my words, but I'll paraphrase something like, "Oh, we're ready to stomp that ass." And then he said something like, "We're blah blah blah," and then
he's ready to punch him. Like, he's ready to punch him in the stomach.
And he gave a look, and he looked at the reporter. He's like, "Is that what you wanted? Was that good?" Like, I know you're trying to get me to say something that's gonna like be used against us or some blocker.
Can you write the story now?
Yeah. Christian Mino says, "I need the Saints to win this week. I don't think they understand how hard it is for me to live in Augusta, Georgia, surrounded by Falcons fans when they lose to the Falcons."
Oh, hey, can you get me on? Can you get us tickets to the Masters?
Christian, you go ahead and tweet Jason. Y'all can talk about the Masters.
And Adam as well. Look, we got a future Masters participant sitting right next to Adam right now. Hey, look, I still have on my Saints shoes that I wear to every Saints game, my black and gold shoes. I went to the Masters last year and wore them. It got really muddy, really wet. I have Masters mud on my shoes. They're still on my shoes. So I figured that's I'm trying to find some kind of good luck charm to do something. I don't know. Hey, 6. Cheers.
He just rambled about
that was classic me. Right. I have Masters mud.
You know what you should do
on my Saints shoes.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what you could do with that. And so that you don't want to walk around with dirty shoes, Jason. Why don't you?
No, I'm not washing those shoes.
Hear me out. You can.
No, not necessarily, Jeff.
What you need to do is scrape that mud into, now that you're in your home, permanent home, whatever, into your landscape and into your flower bed. So now you'll have Masters grass.
Ooh.
It'll help that grass grow nicely.
Ooh. Yeah. I'm gonna get really high off that Masters grass.
Family show. All right, so back to the Saints-Falcons game on Thanksgiving.
Right?
Jason Lake says, payback time. Christian Mino says, more worried than I'd like to be. If I can get badges, I'll trade you for a dome game.
Done. Shit, I'll give you a playoff game.
Whoa. Those are spoken for. So,
6.
All right. So,
so we're going to get a bye, so I'm not going to miss a game this year. That's the key thing right now.
Julio, but let's not overlook the Falcons like we did 2 weeks ago.
I don't think
so did Julio get hurt for the Falcons in their last game? I mean, I know Tampa beat him pretty good, but did Julio? I thought I saw somewhere that Julio got injured. Am I just dreaming?
I don't know. Does anybody who's watching on the live stream know if Julio is hurt? I don't. I mean, I think we would have heard at least whether he got hurt or not. We would have heard about.
But nobody cares about the Falcons. Why would you have heard about that?
It's because we're playing them, and it would have been there. It would have been posted something. Matt Ryan listed as full participant, but Julio Jones estimated as
shoulder injury. Shoulder
5
injury.
hours ago.
He suffered a shoulder injury in his loss.
So does that put him in questionable, doubtful?
Well, as of now, it's questionable, but they definitely won't have Austin Hooper, so that's good. Sucks for the Crime Donkeys, good for the Saints.
Right.
So if we only have to guard Calvin Ridley, we can put Eli Apple on Calvin Ridley. and we'll make up for it. That would be phenomena if Julio didn't make it.
Julio played 49 of 87 snaps on Sunday, which estimates him as a non-participant. I don't know what that means. So
You don't know what a lot of things mean, but that's okay.
I mean, 49 out of 87 offensive snaps is not good for your number one receiver.
Right, which means he got hurt during the game, his shoulder, so at some point he didn't come back in at all. Yeah, he wasn't back in.
All right. I think
Thank you, Chris
Adam,
Jamino, for keeping us updated.
Who's got fried fish for Jason? Wheels says.
I'm not quite
Chris Jamino, he hurt his shoulder,
yet.
but nothing else has been said. Okay, Adam, I think you're right. I think this game comes down to what happens in the trenches. It's where our lines go is where this team is going to go for this game. Breeze.
I mean, last game we got embarrassed, and so I think those guys are going to take it to heart and go handle their business.
Yeah. All right. So then, what's your score prediction, Jason?
Oh man, short week. We are going to be fired up. I'm going to go 27-13. I think our defensive line is going to be out to get them, even though we're going to be without our two starting left offensive linemen because Pete's not playing, Armstead's definitely not playing. Now Easton has played well in a spot, and Omana or Omana, Phenomena, however you pronounce his name. The good thing is he's going to have a full week of practice. Now he's not Armstead's level, but you got to think after being embarrassed last week, there's a lot of pride on this team to not let that happen again. So I think we're going to be out to get him. And if Lattimore plays, I wonder if that's going to be a thing where if Julio doesn't play, that we also sit Lattimore to rest him another week. That'll be an interesting thing to watch this week, I think. But I just think after getting burned, we're gonna come out with a fire under our ass, knowing there's going to be 20,000 Saints fans in the stadium, maybe 25, maybe 30.
That's total attendance.
Oh.
You like that?
Yeah.
All right, Adam, score prediction.
28-3.
That's the only reason he joined the show, was so that he can do that.
30-14.
What'd you want?
30-14.
30-14 from Augustine.
All right. Well, I was close. I have 30-20
How's that close?
because we both said 30.
He said 38.
Oh.
No.
I said 30.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh, like your number.
Sorry, Adam needs a better microphone.
30 to
Warriors.
I say 30-20. So we both agree that the Saints will score 30.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Glenn Fitz says, who that Fitz? Is that Fitz? Yeah. Says 28-3. Thanks. All right. Any final thoughts? Quick final thoughts because we are over time.
I'll go with a quick final thought. Anthony Davis and the Lakers come to town on Wednesday. So that's going to be an interesting game. The Lakers are doing a lot better than I thought they would. I think they're sitting there at, I think they're 14-2 right now.
Yeah, best record in them.
Yeah, they've been playing lights out, which is fine. Let them have all their fun right now. If Zion was healthy, I'd feel a lot better predicting a Pelicans win on Wednesday. I still do think we're going to be fired up. You have all the ex-Lakers on the team, and maybe there'll be some extra pressure. Maybe the boos will get to Davis. Maybe he'll have a bad game. So I'm hoping we win. I'm not anticipating it, but I am looking forward to having this game come into town, and hopefully all the Pelican season ticket holders didn't sell the game like they normally would to Lakers games because it's Davis's first return trip. I'd like to see them there. I'd like to see more Pelicans fans in the arena than Lakers fans. So I guess I'll report to you back next week and let you know what happens. But
all right. Adam,
it'd be nice to get a win, but I'm not expecting it.
any final thoughts?
No, go Saints. Just hope that we can win the trenches. We take care of business. We prepare for the 49ers and give them an ass kicking.
What, you really didn't want to talk about how you've been spending all your time since leaving the Dome Patrol podcast.com?
I guess
himself.
a lot of it's on the golf course with this little guy caddying. playing tournament after tournament after tournament with him. Like I said
yeah.
earlier,
Y'all play night golf at 8 o'clock every Monday?
we do play a lot of golf, and I mean it's
We go to
kids, man. Like I mean, I got an 8
Washington.
and 6-year-old. Like y'all want to film at 7:15 when it's time to like bathe, eat,
Well,
cook, homework.
that's Jeff right there. Remember, we used to do our shows at 9 o'clock at night.
That's too late. All right.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is it?
Well, let the
Yeah.
listeners tell us. I want listeners, or the viewers, really. Listeners can listen anytime. The people who tune in to watch. What time do you want us to do the live streams? You can tell us on your own time. But in the meantime, I'm going to say that
Call
is
us,
all
tell
the show
us.
we have for you right now. We're going to thank our loyal listeners for downloading. For downloading each week and telling all of your friends about the Dome Patrol podcast. You can follow us on Twitter for daily conversation, like us on Facebook to watch the live broadcast, subscribe on YouTube if you want to watch later, and you can also listen as an alternative to your podcast app. But then there's the old-fashioned way, Dome Patrol podcast.
.com.
Say bye-bye, donkeys.
Oh, I'm gonna go old school. Bye, donkeys.
I forgot what I used to do. It's been so long.
I forgot
Later.
too. What did you say?
What did you used to do?
You used to say something. I
Oh,
forgot.
you always did. I'm gonna give a shout out to.
That's right.
That's right. I'll give a shout out. I'm gonna give a shout out to this one that's watching with us.
Oh, he's on the show. You're a star. Don't tell my kids yet because I haven't let them.
Superstar. We were here first. When you get your pro golf bag, the first sponsor you get is the Dome Patrol podcast right on your golf bag.
That logo. The new logo.
Mm-hmm. Whatever logo we want, old school, new school. He's gonna have like 5 bags. We'll get all 5 different logos. Put it on the bag.
We could maybe go back to having a celebrity, the celebrity shit.
So curse
I'm
words.
sorry.
Endorsement.
Celebrity interview when we have a real celebrity.
Ah, I like that.
Instead of getting what's his name to impersonate one.
Right? Right. We'll have a real
We
celebrity.
do need to do Adam. You know, we did the Adam interviews. You need to do one where you interview Coach O. I could do a mean Coach O.
Go make that big pot of gumbo. Got to make sure we beat them Tigers. Hold them Tigers. No, go Tigers.
Augustin's got it.
Yep. He's gonna be a celebrity and a celebrity Coach O impersonator.
Right. All right. Let me see.